This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. You know, there are a lot of dungeon crawlers out there, but I recently fell into one that I'm going to tell you has really jumped up in the charts for me. And I think it's a really underrated game and doesn't get as much love as it should. And it is Fateforge Chronicles of Kaan. Okay, we're going to go down, we're going to take a look at, and I'm going to show you what you get inside the box here. There are a couple expansions we're going to talk about in different videos, because this is one that I'm going to be covering quite a bit, and I think you're really going to be excited to see what this is all about. Let's go down the table and check it out. So this first video, all I want to do is really show off what this game does and why... you know why this is a hidden gem. You're going to have all these you're going to get a bunch of these boxes where you're going to be able to save your character as you play through with your character. They're save boxes, so you're going to have certain cards and stuff like that you're going to be able to unleash and you're going to get a ton of these boxes, which is really nice. Another thing that I'm really impressed with is, of course, you know, the very beautiful boxes to keep all those supplies and the cubes that you're going to need. You're going to need those action cubes and such. And then, of course, they have miniatures for the heroes, which I really appreciate, because, you know, a lot of times you just want to paint up the heroes. You don't have to paint up the enemies. The enemies are actually... cardboard, which I think is perfect for this, and makes things a lot easier. You're going to play as one particular player, and you're going to pick that guy. For me, it's always the mercenary, because I really think he's cool, and he is going to have his own tableau here, okay? And there's a bunch of different players that you can be. You can be like the forest guard, the rogue, you can be the shaman if you want, which is really cool, or the elite nobleman. And as you can see, they're going to have different areas, and they're going to start with a certain amount of dice. Okay, these dice are going to be your actions. Okay, they're going to have movement, they're going to have criticals, they're going to have attacks. You're going to roll them, and that is how you are going to go and move around the particular tiles that are going to be set depending on the particular mission that you're going to be accomplishing. You're going to be fighting all kinds of baddies, and as you can see, I grabbed a sheet that I didn't punch out, but they pop out so beautifully and nice and thick. And as you can see, I mean, really, the thickness is just exquisite on these. And that's a real home run for me. And it's going to have their stats, and they're going to be throughout the dungeon. Movement. So movement is a really easy thing. Whenever you move, you know, not in squares, but you actually move from tile to tile. And as you can see, depending on the scenario, you are going to have a setup predetermined area that you're going to be certain things. Another really neat thing about this is the initiative order and how it's done. Okay, you always have it in front of you, so you always know who's going next. Sometimes the enemy will go next, which isn't very cool, but you'll have an initiative order, and you are going to do your actions, and then the next player is going to do their actions, and so forth and so on, until the enemies have their phase. The phases are broken down, and like I said, I'm not going to explain everything here. We're just going over a quick overview of what you're going to get in here, and you do get some fantastic, wonderful components in here. You're going to have your preparation phase. That's where you're going to roll those dice and prepare for what you're going to do. For instance, we'll just take out 5 of these dice, and you can see this is a wild card, and these are 3 attacks. Okay, but there is a way that you can use and do a dash or a move to one zone without using it as an action. But these will help you and decide on when you want to make attacks and certain creatures, and can you get to them, range, and all these other fun things that come into play. Your action phase, your hero turns, then your enemy reactions, and then your enemy turns. The enemies, especially when they are in the same zone with you, will have a reaction to you being there. Then you have your cleanup phase at the end of combat phase, who gets hurt, who doesn't. And there are certain ways that you can, at the end of things that you can, because you don't finish one of these things and then all of a sudden get all your health back. You get 1 health back. So you want to be very, very careful how you absorb certain amounts of damage, and I think that's really unique. There are cards and abilities that you can get more than 1 health back. There are ways and different cards that are going to help you to get your energy, because energy is a big thing in this, as well as your health, and you just don't get all your energy back. Again, it's one of those things where you get 1 health, one energy after a certain amount of things. You've got to find a way to really be smart with your energy cubes as well as your health, because they play an important part in this more than you know. You'll be able to attribute different skills. These are level 2 skills, but you'll have level 1 skills. They're going to help you, and do some of them when you roll a particular thing, they'll give you extra damage to do, or you'll be able to shield yourself, which is important. A wild blow, this would be plus 1 hit, which would be an extra blow that you can do. You can roll defensive stands, all kinds of different things that try to help you absorb and also administer punishment out there. Really, really unique system, and very well done. There's a few expansions out for it. We'll talk more about those. You're going to have these storyboards that you're going to go through, and things that you're going to be able to mark down. The map here. This map is absolutely beautiful, and this is something I just absolutely wanted to show you, because all these different areas you are going to be, and there's story cards that go with this. Oh, did I move those aside? Of course I did. There are all kinds of different cards and stuff like that, and this beautiful magnetic box, which just does a wonderful job of holding everything that you need, as far as the skills that you can attribute, your graveyard, your encounters, and all these other things. And it's a magnetic box, and it's done very beautifully. But this map is just absolutely beautiful. Keeps everything in line for you, so when you start looking at the map, it kind of builds that theme, and just it sucks you in so many different ways. And then, of course, the rule book, which is a masterpiece. It's so well done. You're going to have your general icons that are going to explain everything that you're going to want to that you're going to see, enemy action notifiers and so forth and so on, how things work in here. This is spelled out so easily. This is also run by an app that is going to help you along, and which does a beautiful job. I'm going to show you the app when we start we're going to do the very first playthrough on this, but I really wanted to show this off. This is an app driven game, but the app does not take over the game. Okay, it really helps you along, helps with the story. Really, it takes care of various tasks during gameplay, such as enemy activation, combat scenes, tracking and saving your progress in the game and the story. And it starts to tell this wonderful, wonderful story that is absolutely magical, that works with the map and everything else. And it is a campaign structured game. It does fantastic. You could play solo, of course, and in the main menu of the app you can select the solo function, and that'll help you along, and it'll tailor everything to you. Between the app and this wonderful rule book, this is a masterpiece, and I can't say it enough. And the best way you're going to see that is when we do a playthrough of it, that is coming soon. I'm gonna try to get that taped. Of course, we tore up our ankle, so it's been hard to walk, but don't you worry, we'll get this one in, because this one I really, really, really believe in. So let's go up top, get some final thoughts before we really get in deep with this fantastic, wonderful experience that came out of nowhere for me, and that is Fateforge Chronicles of Kaan. Now listen, I didn't even scratch the surface with this. There's so much going on here. It's unbelievable. These are my initial thoughts right off, just messing with it out of the box. And, I tend to get really excited, and I like doing these videos because when I start playing something and I'm having, messing with something and I'm having a great time, I want to run and tell you about it. And this is more than I expected. This is very, 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 very good. The app works perfectly, doesn't overtake the thing. I didn't explain a lot of things because I actually want to do that. I want to do the first scenario a couple of times. I got sent some miniatures with it, which are beautiful. I believe those are the big bosses, and there are two expansions that I haven't even looked at yet, because we're going to take our time with this, and we're going to spend our time with Chronicles, and then move to the Clash of Immortals and Kin of the Wild, which looks really, really good, like everything else they seem to be doing. This is Mighty Boards, boy, wow. I'm going to tell you right now, what a great company doing great things. I started going through and taking a look. They did Post-Human. I remember that one. That was a great game. And Fateforge, which is just we're talking about now. Evacuation Earth. I'm trying to see what else. Days of Iron, Budapest. I didn't even know that was them behind it. I mean, this is a company that's got their stuff together, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not have Fateforge Chronicle of Kaan, I'm telling you right now, run out and get it. It is really something that's easy to get to the table, quick to learn, and easy to get very engaged in. And the quality of the components are ridiculous. And that's what my initial thoughts right out of the gate. And we're going to play this some more, and then we're going to have this taped, and then you judge for yourselves. But I'm telling you right now, this is one that's been around for a little bit, and I think gets swept under the radar a bit. Go check it out. You will not be disappointed. Fateforge Chronicle of Kaan. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon with more Chronicles.